Is Berklee worth it? Is Berklee College of Music worth it? Is it worth it to go? Is it worth it? Got it. Got it. Nailed it. What's up, friends and fam? My name is David Cola and I play the drums. So what's up, friends and fam? So today is the day I'm finally doing my first ever Q&A for YouTube. So I think this is something that I want to incorporate and do a little bit more of, just because I get a lot of questions about a lot of different things. So I think it would be good to start talking about different topics or doing just in general Q&As. But today, I think it's time we're going to talk about the Berklee College of Music. So as an alumni of Berklee, I get a lot of questions about a lot of things about Berklee. And I did a week in the life video which went through like my days at Berklee and different stuff like that, but I think it'll be good to do like an actual Q&A so you guys can ask whatever questions you want and I'll give you the exact answer that I think you want to know. Alright guys, so on my Instagram, at David Cola Drums, I asked you guys what you wanted to know about Berklee. I just straight up asked in the Ask Me Anything sort of tag that you can do in your Instagram story. So I did that. I posted a video saying Ask Me Anything, and now I'm making it into this video. So yeah. Okay, so here's the video I put on Instagram asking you guys for questions. What's up, friends and family? So today's the day. Feel free to ask me anything you want about the Berklee College of Music, anything you want me to talk about, anything you want me to explain or go over. Today's the day. It's time to make a video on it. So yeah, hit me with the questions. So yeah, it's been about a day since everybody sent in their questions, so now let's go through them. Let's hit it. Let's do it. Hold on. Coffee first. And if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram. If you're following me from Instagram and this is your first time on my YouTube channel, like and subscribe because I'm gonna post more cool content and more Q&As. So yeah, so get your questions answered here on YouTube. Yeah. I got a lot of questions about, is it expensive? Is Berklee expensive? So let's look up the cost of Berklee. Alright, so the actual cost of tuition right now for Berklee from Google says $40,000. That's a lot of money, and then plus books and living expenses and everything of that nature, food, and so they're estimating like another $20,000 on top of that, which brings it to $60,000 a year to go to the Berklee College of Music. So yes. So yes, if you multiply that by 4, that is $240,000 to go to the Berklee College of Music for 4 years if you're getting a 4-year degree. That's a lot of money. So yes, it is expensive to go to the Berklee College of Music. I'd say that's pretty expensive for a school experience, okay? Okay, so this is a conversation that I do have with a lot of people about affording Berklee and everything of that nature. So for me, I actually lucked out. So one, I got a scholarship. It wasn't a full ride, it was just a partial scholarship, so that helped. And also what I did, so after I graduated high school, my senior year, the summer between my senior year and my first year at Berklee, I actually did summer classes. I think I did like 21 credits or something of that. So I took like math and science and all of the crap courses that you have to do at Berklee in your first year. I just took all the liberal arts classes. So I took 21 credits, and then also after my first year, between my first and second year at Berklee, I also did more summer classes at a community college. And I probably did like 16 more credits. I forget, there's a specific limit for the amount of credits you can take outside of Berklee while still going to Berklee. But because I did community classes and I got all my liberal arts classes out of the way outside of Berklee, I was able to cut off an entire year of school. So that's $60,000 that I did not spend on school, plus a scholarship. So that is one way that I was able to take off some of the cost of Berklee, and that definitely helped a lot because I also didn't have to do liberal arts classes. I didn't have to do math, I didn't have to do English, I didn't have to do stuff like that. I could literally just focus on music, which was great and very helpful for my situation. Now also, for 3 years, $60,000 per year, that's still a lot of money. That's still a lot of money. So in my situation, I was actually very fortunate because my parents actually helped me out and they paid for the rest. I don't have any student debt or anything. I'm just very fortunate to have very loving parents who care about me so much. They're right above me right now. But yeah, I was just very fortunate to have people to support me in this situation because this is something I wanted to do, and they supported me, and all they're asking in return is for me to help them out whenever the time comes. Moving on. How many hours did I practice each day? So for me, because I didn't have liberal arts classes, I was able to focus on music right from the start of school. So I basically made a schedule because I got into Berklee and I wasn't like the best cat or anything. I sucked. I sucked a lot. I was horrible. I really got put into my place just because like I remember specifically like I went into a shed with all these drummers and I sat down and I played and I realized how much I sucked compared to everyone else. Because like Berklee's basically like a place where everybody, like the best players in their hometown, like they all come together in this one place from around the world, and it's insane. So I really got put into my place. So from there I was like, I'm gonna practice. I need to practice because I suck and I need to catch up. And so that's a good thing about the Berklee environment, is that you're basically put in the situation with all the world's best drummers like at your age in the same place, and it's insane, and it made me want to practice a lot. So for my first 2 years of Berklee out of 3, I basically went into the practice room every single day after 6 o'clock. So I'd eat dinner. So I'd have classes during the day. I always scheduled it to have classes in the mornings and in the early afternoons, and then I'd have dinner at around 5 or 6 o'clock, and then I'd practice right after dinner up until like I couldn't practice anymore, and I was just really tired, or I was just sort of, I don't want to say burnt out, but I was just tired and I got what I need to get done. So yeah, I practiced, I would say like 6 hours until like, from like, let's say 6 to midnight or 6 to, I mean, there's a couple times where I literally went all night because I was like that motivated. I was like that hyped up about something, but it was something within that range. I always did it. I never set like a specific amount of hours aside, but I just been like, okay, now this time of the night, every single day, I'm gonna work on drums. I'm gonna practice, and I'm gonna practice whatever I was into at the time. Were you gonna make a part 3 to Week in the Life at Berklee? Okay, let me explain this. So I did parts 1 and 2 of Week in the Life at Berklee, but then there was a part 3. There was a part 3, which is only 2 days, but literally there wasn't that much going on those 2 days. Like I literally didn't do anything. I sort of just sat around all day and I didn't really film that much because there's nothing going on, and I just practiced. And I don't know how much you guys want to see it practicing, because I think I showed that enough. And so what I did for the Week in the Life, I had probably over like 1,000 gigabytes of files and videos and stuff like that. It was ridiculous. And I uploaded it all to the Google Drive because I didn't have a hard drive or anything. I didn't have like a terabyte hard drive or anything that could hold it. So I just uploaded it to Google Drive, and then I came home from school and my internet here back at home was so bad I couldn't like download it at all. And then basically I ran out of room on my Google Drive and I had to delete things, and I ended up accidentally deleting it, and so there's probably not gonna be a part 3, but you're not missing anything. There wasn't anything important in there, so don't worry. Best thing I've learned from Berklee. Okay, the best thing I've learned is that Berklee will not hand you anything. They won't give you anything. They won't make you anything. It's up to you to make something of yourself, and I can't emphasize that enough. Like JP Bouvet says this in his video as well. Berklee won't make you like famous. They won't do anything. It's up to you to do that for yourself. Now Berklee has all the tools that you'll ever need to do that, but it's up to you to literally take those tools and make something with it. You just have to do something with it. It's like with anything. If you want to make it in any career, any field like that, you have to put in the work yourself. You can't just expect things to happen for you. That's not realistic. How much of the music theory you learned actually applies to you as a real world drummer now? A real world drummer. So for me, I haven't actually used it, and I actually forgot a lot of theory, which sucks, but I just don't use it on a daily basis as a drummer. But what I can say, I don't use it, I don't write or I don't do anything like that, but if I was a writer, then I'd definitely apply it more so in that sense. But for me as a drummer, I don't use it just because I specifically play drums. I mean, I should know it, and I do know a lot of theory. I do understand a lot of the concepts, and I do understand that. I just don't apply it on a daily basis. But what I can say is that because I did like harmony and theory and ear training and stuff like that, definitely on the gig, it has expanded my ears so much where I can hear when things are wrong, basically. I don't know if that makes sense at all. But so like if I'm on the gig, we're in rehearsal, like on the cruise ship, we're rehearsing with a guest entertainer, I would just hear things, like I'm listening to the chord progressions, that I'll just hear something like, oh, that sounds weird, like a wrong tension or something like that, and to be able to like stop and be like, oh, I'd look at my music director and be like, hey, like that sound weird? That sounded weird. Like something's up. And I'd be like, oh yeah, like play this part, and we played it and then we figured it out. So it's different stuff like that. It definitely expanded my ear in that way, which is great, and I feel like that was the biggest thing, but I'm not physically applying it in like a writing situation or like with my instrument specifically every single day as a real world drummer. The best teachers at Berklee. So the best teacher I had at Berklee would have to be James Murphy. So he's a drummer. He was one of my private instructors. So James played with the Blue Man Group in Boston, which I thought was really cool. And he just joined Berklee as a teacher after going there as a student in my first semester when I got there. And so what was really cool is that James was a younger guy. He's in his 30s. He's super young and probably the youngest on the staff in the percussion department, which is sweet. He's also a killing player, ridiculous. Like, he's got chops and he's got pocket and he's insane. He's nuts. And it was great because it almost felt like he was an older brother to me. Started telling me what was going on and things I'd have to do. Like, he's been through the process. He's been through Berklee recently, and he's just been out in the real world for like 10 years after Berklee, and he's just killing it. He's killing the game, and he helped a lot, and it helped a lot with what was going on in the scene in that moment. Not that the older teachers at Berklee didn't know what was going on, but he just had, it was like a fresh eyes kind of thing. Like, he was just witnessing it. He's still playing. He was still playing with the Blue Man Group at the time, so he had knowledge on auditions and everything, and that was very recent and up to date, which I really dug. And he was just, he's a friend of mine. Like, it was great. It felt super cool, and he's the best. He's a chill dude. It was great. Another teacher I had, I mean, this is all like sort of drum teachers for me because they affected me the most. Henrique de Almeida. He opened up my mind to all the polyrhythmic stuff and all the possibilities, and he has a book called Polyrhythmic Possibilities. He's awesome. He was also in my Berklee Week in the Life video part 2, and I was taking his polyrhythmic class, and I was doing a piece out of there, and that was for my finals actually, which is pretty cool. But yeah, he was a great teacher. He had definitely opened my mind to a lot of the different possibilities. I know I keep saying possibilities, but the different possibilities, so like all the triplet stuff and the weird stuff I play, that all sort of stemmed from that class. And then I also did a private instruction with him the semester after that, which is great, and he expanded my mind. And he also helped me with a lot of sight reading and stuff like that before I went to the shit. Yeah, he's a well-rounded cat. He's insane, and just hearing him play like through all this stuff that he's worked on for so long, especially all the polyrhythmic stuff, it was insane. Then there's Dave DiCenzo, who opened my mind a lot and definitely like called me and brought me back to reality a little bit. He was great. He talked to me a lot about just myself and what I wanted to do with my career, and he really put me in the right direction. I won't get too deep into it, but he's a freaking guru. He's the man. And a lot of the stuff that I learned from him in that one semester of private instruction, I still use every single day now, and it's helped me immensely to get to the point where I'm at. All right, I might as well mention this now. So everyone's asking me about the audition process for Berklee. I think I'm gonna make that a part 2 and really go into everything that I did. I'm gonna make that a part 2. This is part 1. I'm just gonna say that now. This is part 1 because I feel like this is gonna take a while. I'm already recording this for like 20 minutes, so this is part 1, and audition process will be part 2, and I'll get into that. I don't know if I'll really demonstrate much, but I'll get into that and talk about my process and everything that I went through to get to Berklee and audition and get in. So yeah. Do you need to play an instrument for years for them to even look at you? That's an interesting question. No, like, you don't need to play an instrument for years. I know someone that was only playing for like a year, but that's the thing, like, Berklee's a school for music. It's a school for music. Why would they deny you if you want to learn about music? Like, I feel like people get that mixed up. It's a place to learn. Like, if you want to learn, you can go to Berklee and you can pay all that money to get in there, and you can learn. Like, you can learn everything that you need to know. It's just a music school. It's not like this, some high elite place where they don't let like people that are at a lower level than others, like, they don't let them in. Like, that's not what it is. Like, Berklee is just a music school. It's just like any other music school. They're not like a place of just elite people. Of course, there's a lot of amazing musicians that go there, but it's also just a place where people are learning to do this thing that we all love called music. So it's not like that. You don't need to be freaking a child prodigy. Of course, I've seen child prodigies, but you don't need to be a child prodigy just to go to Berklee. Like, I was terrible before I got to Berklee, and a lot of like my improvement and all the stuff that I've learned, that was during those 2 years of me just practicing at Berklee. So yeah, like, I was pretty bad. And I'll even show you, like, I'll show you exactly like how I was playing at that time, and it wasn't anything crazy. It was nuts. So yeah, no, you don't need to play ridiculous chops and be like a child prodigy just to get into Berklee. Is there a lot of course content about career preparation and opportunities? That's a good question, because there was, at least in my major. I'm not sure about other majors. There was, I forget what the class is called specifically, but I was a professional music major, and that's a major, it's like a build your major kind of thing at Berklee. So I could pick from different courses, I think like 2 or 3 different majors, and sort of pick classes. As long as I had the prereqs and I could get the approval from whoever the head of the department was, then I could take those classes. So I focused in music business and performance, and I sort of drew from both. I just I drew more from the music business though, because I was doing all the performance stuff on my own time, really, and just all the private instructions and ensembles and stuff like that. But yeah, I did have a couple classes where they're talking about your career and getting your resume together and getting like a website and getting videos and interviewing. Like I remember for a couple projects, this also goes with another question. Someone asked me about like projects at school, and actually had to interview people, either like Berklee alumni that like are successful now, and interview them about what they're doing to get advice. And I actually interviewed E-Man Cervantes, who plays with Annie Grammer, which was really cool, and I wrote a beautiful essay, which I should probably show him, it's pretty sick, but he gave me some truth. It was great, and different stuff like that, getting advice. And they had like a lot of people come in, a lot of artists come in and talk about the process and what they've gone through. There's a lot of stuff, because the whole goal is to make money. Well, that sounds really bad, but we want to do this as our career, so we have to make money so we can survive. So it's like prepping us for that, or like prepping us to interviews with companies if that's the route that you're going, or doing auditions and stuff like that. There's a lot of preparation just to make sure that you have everything together. And also like a lot of goals. We talked about goals. Like I remember I had to do like a 1-year plan, like what am I gonna do with this, like what's my goals for this next year, what's my goals for the next 5 years, what's my goals for the next 10 years, like different stuff like that, which is all super useful and great stuff to think about. And I was like stoked about it. It was a great class. I loved it. But yeah, they do have classes on that, which is really nice and convenient, especially going out into the real world. So that really helped me get my stuff together right before I graduated, which is really nice. What helped your chops the most? Practice. Lots of practice. Do they have toilet paper all the time? Yes, they have your RAs. They have a place in the dorms that have toilet paper, and RAs go there at night and they hand out toilet paper, so it's great. So plenty of toilet paper just for you. Did you like your experience? Yeah, I had a great time at Berklee. I improved a lot. I did a lot of stuff. I got a lot done, and I felt like I was known as a kid that just practiced a lot. I was always in the practice room just because I sucked, and I still suck. I'm horrible, but I'm still working on it. But I definitely did a lot of my growth, and being at Berklee definitely helped shape me into the player I am now, and definitely prepped me for real world gigs and stuff like that nature. So yeah, I enjoyed it. All right, here's a question. So do people drop out of Berklee? Yes. I wouldn't say people drop out, but they just leave for their specific reasons. They may not, it may be just too much money, it just may not work financially. People just may not like the environment or the experience or how the classes go. And I know a lot of people, they expect a lot more out of their first year, just because you don't get to like the real meat and potatoes of the classes and stuff until like the later years. So it's really difficult in your first like year or so. But yeah, I do know people that didn't stay the whole time at Berklee, but the people that I do know that left Berklee are doing like really, really well, which is sweet. I'm so stoked for them. Like, it's great. It's cool because I remember, if you guys are Instagrammers, you probably know my friend Wojtek. I used to be in the practice rooms with him when my first 2 semesters at Berklee. We were always in the practice rooms together, like right next to each other in the rooms. And Wojtek, he didn't stay. I think he left after the first year, and then he just started making Instagram videos, and he started killing it. And now he's literally killing it, like killing the game on Instagram, and I'm so happy for him. And he's a crazy drummer, and he's always been a crazy drummer, but he's someone that didn't stay the full time at Berklee, and he's doing really well for himself. Another person is my friend Jeremy Schaefer. This dude, I've known him for a while, mainly online, but then he came to Berklee and I was super stoked, and then we met and we're super good friends. I mean, at least in my opinion, Jeremy, if you're watching this, I thought we were pretty good friends. But yeah, Jeremy just, from what I could tell, just wasn't really feeling the experience. I don't know, I think he had his personal reasons why he was leaving or something, but I forget exactly why. But he didn't stay the full time at Berklee, but he just decided to move straight to Nashville, it worked out for him, because now he's playing with Mason Ramsey, who's the yodeling boy, the Walmart yodeling boy, which is freaking sweet, and I'm super stoked for him. So that's the thing, like, it all depends on you. If you want to drop out of Berklee, and if you want to go to Berklee, it all depends on your situation. Okay. Now, getting into that, let's get into the big question that everybody's asking me other than auditions. Is Berklee worth it? Is Berklee College of Music worth it? Is it worth it to go? Is it worth it? So my answer to is Berklee worth it is yes, and no, and maybe, and I don't know, And it depends. It really depends. So for me personally, Berklee was worth it because that's what I needed specifically. I had everything I needed and it just made sense for my situation. So my parents were helping me out. I was able to work with them to make it work. I wasn't that great of a player and it made sense for me to go there, and that's sort of what I wanted, was to be pushed and be put into that environment to grow as quickly and as fast as I could with some of the best musicians from around the world. Okay, so that's my situation, and for me it was worth it because I got exactly what I wanted, and I was able to do it without putting myself $240,000 in debt. And it just made sense for me and what I was trying to do. And especially for me as a player at the time, it was perfect. And with the teachers and everything, all the people that I met, it was great. But if you don't have the funds for Berklee, and let's say you don't have the money for Berklee, you don't have $240,000 to spend, so you're gonna put yourself in debt, and you're also a killing player, you may not even need Berklee. So instead of spending $240,000, let's say you spend $10,000 and start taking lessons with some of the best musicians in the world that are doing the jobs that you exactly want. And I'm sure those people can teach you everything you need to know. And let's say you want to learn theory, you can look it up, you can take courses on it online with whoever. You can go to a different music school. There's a lot of different options. Now, I have to say, like, there's so many different paths you can take to get to the same place. There is. And I know that for a fact. So, for example, Dave Elich, he actually went to the Berklee 5-week program, but he didn't go to Berklee. I'm pretty sure he just moved straight to LA and he started playing for M83 or Miley Cyrus. I'm pretty sure he played for Justin Timberlake. Like, he's doing it. He moved to LA and did his thing and is doing it. My friend Jeremy Schaefer, he only went to Berklee for a year, then he moved to Nashville and he's killing the game, and now he's doing exactly like what I want to do and what several other people want to do. So you do not need Berklee, but it just depends on your situation. That's all it comes down to. It just depends on you. Depends on you. Depends on you and the camera. It depends on what's going on in your life, where you are as a player, as a musician, what you want to gain, and also just it really depends on your financial situation, because I wouldn't blow $240,000 and put yourself in debt just to go to Berklee, just to have that name like you went to Berklee. No, it's not worth it. I mean, if I was in that situation, if I didn't have all these things at my exposure, as like all these opportunities, then I probably wouldn't have went to Berklee because it wouldn't have made sense for my situation. So yes, Berklee is worth it. It is not worth it. It may be worth it. It just depends on your situation. And that's the thing that I have to emphasize again. Like, Berklee won't make you anything. It's just a music school. Of course, it has a lot of tools and resources which are great, but it really just depends on you. It just comes down to you and your soul and what exactly you want to do, and it's up to you to do that. That doesn't mean that you need Berklee specifically to make you, or you don't need it. You can do it yourself, and there's a lot of different paths. Like, I would say that again and again. There's a lot of different paths you can take to do exactly what you specifically want to do. So yes, for me, Berklee was worth it. For my situation, it may not be worth it for you. Maybe it is. It just depends. And you have to look at all the different factors and you have to see what makes sense for you. Okay, so I know plenty of kids now that are ridiculous, that are insane, that are still in high school and they're better than me. So personally, I wouldn't say that they even need to go to Berklee. Like, they could just go to a city, and let's say they don't know about music theory and stuff. They can take classes on that, but they can go out into a city and just kill it. So like I said, it just depends on your situation. That's it. It just depends on you. So yes, it may be worth it. It may not. It may not be worth it. It just depends. Maybe. I don't know. But yes, if you want to know my opinion, for me, it was worth it. But that's because of my situation. Okay. Yeah. Here's one more question as well. Someone asked me how's life been after Berklee. It's been good. I've been doing my thing. I've learned a lot. So right after Berklee, 2 weeks after I graduated, I went on a cruise ship for the first time. And as you guys probably know, I've been working on a cruise ship for the past year and a half, and I've learned a lot. And it's been super cool. And now I'm super excited because I'm moving to LA. In case you guys didn't know, if you guys don't follow me on Facebook or Instagram, posted about me moving to LA come January of 2019. So yeah, lots of stuff going on, and I'm really excited, and I feel like I know a lot. Or I've learned a lot. I don't know a lot. I still have plenty to learn. But yeah, everything's going good. So yeah, it's an exciting life, and I'm proud of everything that I've done, and I'm stoked about it. And someone also asked if I had the option to go back and redo anything, would I? No way I would. I would choose to do the same path as I'm on right now, because I feel like I've learned a lot. Even though it's been really difficult and really hard so far, it's definitely brought me a far way, and I'm super stoked about it, and I'm super stoked to make more content. And yeah, so part 2 will be the audition experience. So yeah, if you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comments, and if you want to know more about Berklee, then I'll probably end up doing another video, just a specific Q&A about the life and everything else about Berklee, and we'll get to the audition process, I promise. I got you. So yeah, friends and fam, my name is David Cola, and I play the drums. I hope this was useful for you guys. I hope it was good, and I hope I explained it well enough, and I hope it helps you on your path and your journey. So yeah, my name is David Cola, and I play drums, and I'll see you, my friends and fam, later.